Hey you computational badass, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn about how to collect input from a user. First we're going to start off on the whiteboard and end up on the computer screen. In the IDE, the one I'm using is Eclipse, but you can use whatever you want to use. So let's get right in. The first thing you need to know before we start is that everything in Java is treated as a class or an object, okay? So now we're going to try and understand the link between the class and the object. So here you are, this is you, you've done a lot of work and you've made a lot of money, but you have no access to your money because your employer has paid to the bank, so to your account. So you need to go to a bank, and the bank will have an ATM which will give you access to your money, okay? So what does that mean? You are the class, and the class has no access to the variables or the methods. There's no access at all. So this class has to now create some kind of link with an object, some kind of relationship, something with the object, okay? Now this object is what's going to give it access to its variables and its methods. So just to reiterate on what I've just said, so the class has no access to the variables and the method. The class needs to go through the object, and the object will give it access to the variables and the methods. Once again, it's like you're the class, you have no access to your money, you have to go to a bank, and the bank will give you access to your money. So I'm going to just draw this up here and make some more space for how this class and object links to collecting input from a user. So when we want to take an input from a user, we write this. I'll explain what all of this means. We write scanner, scan equals new scanner system dot in. What this just means is the scanner is the name of the class. Okay, remember the class that we talked about earlier. Okay, then the scan is the name of the object. New means that we've created a new object. And the scanner, once again, is that we're initializing, which means like we've made a cake, we've put it in the oven. So putting it in the oven is to compound it. So we've initialized the new object. Okay. When we want to take an input from a user, we always use scanner. And what scanner does is, scanner is a utility that Java uses to help take input from a user. So we write scanner, scan, new scanner, system.in, and then system.in. So if we want to take input and output, okay, so we say system.in, and what that means is we want to read the data that the user has put on the keyboard. So if you want to use your Hotmail or your email, whatever email you use, it says enter username, enter password. So system.in is the code that is telling you to enter your username, and then when you type in whatever your username, your email address is, like computationalbadass@gmail.com, that input is what the computer reads. So it reads info from keyboard. Okay, and then system dot out. So far, you know, when you go on your computer and you type your code in, you've saved it, you've run it, and then it comes out on the console and it's read there, that's system dot out. So that just means it's reading the data onto the screen. So it's showing the information on the screen. Okay, and then system dot error is literally, it's just showing the mistakes that you've made as an error message. Okay, so this is the first part. The second part's going to be on the computer. Just to recap, everything in Java is treated exactly as a class or an object. So if you write the class, remember the class has no access to the variables or the methods. The class has to go through the object, and then the object will give it access to the variables and the method. Like, you have no access to your money, you have to go to the bank, and the bank will give you access to the ATM. Okay, so whenever we want to take an input from a user, we say scanner scan equals new scanner system.in. Once again, scanner means the name of the class, scan is the name of the object, because the class has to go through the object to get the variables and the method, get access to it. So scanner scan new scanner system. New scanner means you're creating a new object, and new, when you write scanner again, means initializing the new object. And then the input and the output, when you want to get information after you've written scanner scan equals new scanner, you write system.in. And system.in is basically, you want to read the information that's been typed into the keyboard so that you can reply. All of this will make sense now because we're going to move straight into the computer, and we're going to do a practical example, in a real life example about music, because I love music and I hope you do too. So you're going to open Java project, a new Java project, and you're going to name it music and click finish. And once you've done that, it's going to, create. And then once you've done that, you're going to click on the src on the left and create a class file. And name it music again, and then click public static void main and finish. So now you've opened a new Java project and a new class file. So the first thing you're going to do is write scanner scan equals new scanner parentheses system.in, and then the colon at the end. But make sure you make your spelling capital letters. So for the scanner, it has to be a capital letter or it won't work. Java's very case sensitive. So right now you see that there's a red line underneath it. So what you do is you tap it and then click import scanner Java utility. And what it does is that imports the file into your imports the utility into your file. And then write system.out.println parentheses what's your favorite Ariana Grande song, or whoever you like at this moment. And don't forget your semicolon at the end of the parentheses. So after you do that, you write string Ariana equals scan.nextLine parentheses and then the colon again. So while you're doing this is you get the input from the user. So when they write whatever their song is or whatever your song is, you get the input from the user and you store it into a variable called Ariana. And what that does is, where you wrote scan.nextLine, so whatever is typed in, whatever the user has typed in will be shown again. So afterwards you'll see what all of this means in a moment. We want to ask another music question. So we write system.out.println top 3 Beyonce songs. And if you notice, we haven't written scanner scan equals new scanner again, because you only need to write it once in the method. That's another thing to notice.
Once you've declared it once, you don't need to write it again. It's like saying my name. It's like saying your name when you walk into a room and saying it over and over again. It's just unnecessary. So you write, yeah, if you notice anything as well, the backward N means you want it to go on a new line so that the questions aren't on the same line. So then once again, like I said, you get the input from the user and store it into a variable called Beyonce3. And then write scan dot next line parentheses and a colon. So you're going to do this one more time after you've done that for another question, because I'm just really extra tonight. And this time you want to ask a Rihanna question, because I'm obsessed with Rihanna, Beyonce and Ariana. So now, if you remember the meme that's going on right now, where she posted something on Instagram and the fan said, any new music, and she was like, grow up. So we're going to write the code of Rihanna telling you to grow up. Yeah, and if you notice here where we wrote, because we want to have interaction, so we're going to write system.out.println great choice. So when you ask Ariana a song and you get some feedback of what you've typed in on the keypad, she's going to say back to you, great choice. And then if you ask Beyonce a song, write your top 3 Beyonce songs, if you write system.out.println again, you're going to get the feedback of sounds like a true beehive. So it's like a conversation. So what you're doing is you're writing a code to ask a question, and then you're typing in your answer effectively on the keypad, and then the computer messages you again with something saying sounds like a true beehive, great choice, grow up. So once you finish writing all your code and writing all the questions, you can change them if you want. Click save, Command S if you have a MacBook, and then run it. So the first question is, what's your favorite Ariana Grande song? So you type whatever your answer is. Mine's God Is a Woman. And once you type at that and press enter, computer feeds back, great choice. Then the next question, what's your top 3 Beyonce songs, or whatever it is that you wrote? So mine is Formation. Come on ladies, now let's get information. Ashley, all day. And then the other one's All Night. Dun 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 dun, dun you're lying. And la 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 la, I know you're trying to be there. And then the final one's like Green Light. So the feedback of the computer is sounding like a true beehive. So then the last questions, Rihanna said ask her a question. So I'm trying to be the fan who asked the question on Instagram when you release a new music. And then the computer feeds back, Rihanna feeds back, grow up, stop being childish. And then my final question is the best British band of all time, and I think it's Coldplay. I don't know why I said Spice Girls or the Beatles. Nah, I was smoking something when I typed this. It was definitely Coldplay. But then the computer feeds back, really? Are you sure? So I want you to be so proud of yourself right now, because you've just got feedback from a user with many questions, having fun at the same time. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.